Joel. Are you there?
Hey, I'm a little busy at the moment.
Listen, I just want to tell you I'm sorry about the way things ended yesterday. I think we both said stuff we regret, and I don't want to leave things on a bad note. But you have to realize how hard this is all for me.
I realize this is hard for you, believe me, I do. Which doesn't make it any easier for me.
Well, don't leave then. It's not fair that you're the one who has to risk your life out there.
Come on, Elena, we've already discussed this. You know Grace doesn't have anyone else. If I don't go out and search for her, nobody will. That's the way things work at the Citadel.
Well, what good is it to find her if you die trying? It's just too dangerous to go out there. Especially in that worthless old wreck, if you can even call it that.
That old wreck managed to return to the Citadel unmanned, so it's a lot tougher than it looks.
Okay, assuming you're right. That doesn't mean you have the slightest idea how to drive that thing.
I'll figure it out.
Uh-huh. You'll figure it out. Great. Now I feel so much more relieved.
I thought you were calling to patch things up, and now we're just having the same old arguments again.
Well, it's hard to watch my husband leave on a suicide mission and do nothing to prevent it.
This is no suicide mission. If I ever feel like I'm losing control of the situation, I will turn around and come back home. Plus, we don't know for sure whether people can or cannot actually live out there. It may not be as dangerous as we're told.
Oh, don't tell me you still believe those old stories.
Grace believes them, and I need you to believe in me. You may find that difficult, but I have no choice. She might be in danger. I can't give up on her. She's like family to me.
What about us, Joel? What are we? Or have you forgotten it's not going to be just the two of us anymore?
I know, which is why I promise I'll return. You hear me? I promise. There's no way I'm leaving you alone when the time comes.
I hope that's a promise you can keep. This is recording. There we go. Hey, Joel. I have no idea when you'll be listening to this, but I hope you aren't mad at me anymore. I know you didn't want me to go on this trip, and I don't blame you for being concerned. You were right when you said that we aren't kids anymore, and we need to settle down. But I can't do that if it means I have to keep working for the government. Now I have the chance to live my life in a different way, a way that many people chose long ago. I am no longer willing to bow down to the Citadel. You can't imagine how excited I would be to have you here. But I know that's something I can't ask of you. Your place is there with Elena. That doesn't mean you have to miss out on all the fun, though. I've decided to record a diary of my whole trip. That way, you can somehow play a part in all of this. Now I just need to figure out a way to send it to you.
It's amazing what can be done with a single rock. If it weren't for this mineral, my little adventure wouldn't be possible. All other conventional fuels started to run out after the '93 incident, which is one of the reasons why nobody attempts to travel anymore. They ignore all the resources hidden under their noses. But you just have to know how to make use of them.
Wow, check out this place. You sure did an amazing job, Grace.
In ancient times, there were Christian monks known as hermits. These monks believed they had to seek refuge in total isolation from society to get closer to God. That's why they built churches carved into stone. Interestingly, these structures are now the most useful for setting up a campsite. Because they're carved out of stone with underground passageways, they provide the perfect protection from solar radiation. It's no surprise that some refugees decided to live inside them after the Great Catastrophe. Best friends last forever. What nobody tells you, though, is how people change. Joel hasn't been himself for a long time. I don't know if it's his job, his relationship with Elena, or something else. But he has that look in his eye, as if he was screaming out to escape, to make a big change. God, I wish he'd come with me. No matter how hard he tries to ignore it, he needs this more than I do.
Take a look at this place. Oh, it's such a shame you can't see this, Joel. It's unbelievable. This is one of the places mentioned in the documents I stole from the Citadel, remember? Apparently it was used as a shelter by a small group of dissidents, but as the climate grew harsher, they were forced to leave it behind. It doesn't feel all that cozy, to tell you the truth. There's something special about it, though. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe because it seems so different and unique, unlike the Citadel. But the important thing is that there were people living here after the storm, Joel. We were right. I'd love to see the faces of everyone who laughed at us. Now I'm more and more convinced that I made the right decision. In any case, I gotta keep moving ahead to reach the Church of Twilight. It feels like I'm finally getting closer to my new home. been traveling for over a week, and I still can't believe my eyes. It's hard to express what being here feels like in words. You could call it freedom, but there's more to it than that. Awe, perhaps? It's like gazing at something larger than yourself. Something beyond your scope of understanding. And to think people die inside the Citadel without knowing what they've missed. We have a right to know about our world. I dared to know, and now they want to keep me as an indentured servant. We deserve better than that. I'm gonna prove it can be done. I'm gonna find my place. And who knows? Maybe I can share it someday.
It took 4 years to build this wreck. Tell you the truth, I never thought it was going to work. But here it is, soaring over the vast terrain in this desolate wasteland. I'm sure Mom would be proud. On the other hand, she never would have let me go on this trip in a million years. I've been working for the government for almost 5 years now. And now they want me to stay 5 more? No, I can't take this any longer. They left me no other choice but to quit and leave. problem is, if anything happens out there, nobody will care enough to come and help me. Well, I guess that's a risk I'll have to take.
Last thing I expected to find out here. I think these places were once called observatories. Their purpose was to observe the stars and study them. Man, that must have been a fulfilling job, don't you think? If I'd have been born in another era, I would have loved to have a profession like that. You have to ask yourself whether they could tell what was in store for them. Although solar storms are very hard to predict. Shocking how we believe we are the center of the universe, but then nature can destroy us in the blink of an eye. Anyway, this place was probably used as a temporary shelter by the dissidents as well. I wonder if any of them are still alive. Although what I really need is some time to myself. Well, here we are. Another day out on the road. I haven't made any recordings for a while, but there have been a few small problems. The environment has grown a bit hostile. That comes as no surprise, though. I knew what I was getting myself into. But it isn't all bad news. I think I've discovered the best mix for fertilizing the soil, which, honestly, I thought I'd never figure out. I guess the good part about being alone in the middle of nowhere is that I have plenty of time to think. I remember how we would dream about all this as kids. You would always say you wanted to devote your life to taking photos of the big wide world. And that may be more dangerous now, I won't deny it, but it's never too late, Joel.
The soil around here is a real mess. There's no way to get anything to grow, and this heat certainly isn't helping. I've been working on some nutrients that might speed up the growth process. But despite all that, I'm trusting the cave where the church is built will be humid enough for them to work properly. Otherwise, I'll be stuck on my gross seaweed diet. What am I doing with a gun? I bought it as a precaution, in case I ended up in some crazy situation and actually had to use it. I thought I would always keep it hidden away. Just as a symbol. To know it was there if I ever got scared. But, doesn't work. In fact, it's only making it worse because I'm starting to think I might have to use it.
Lately, I always feel exhausted. I haven't been sleeping too well, you might say. But last night was, especially weird. I had a dream. The two of us were at my house drinking together. So far, so good, right? But suddenly, you vanished. I couldn't stop calling out your name. And then I woke up. I felt a strange pain in the pit of my stomach, so I went to the bathroom and I thought I heard something banging outside the hovercraft, a scraping noise on the hull. I know I must sound paranoid. This landscape is just too extreme. Nothing could be living out here. But for the first time in a long while, I was scared. Anyway, now is not the time to panic. I've come a very long way, and there's no turning back. What the hell was that? All systems seem to be running properly. Apparently the hovercraft's magnetic field was disrupted. Oh God, I have to find some way to fix it. Okay, well, now it's official. I don't think I'll ever find a way out of this freaking desert. The hovercraft won't start up, and I don't have the foggiest idea why. I've been trying to fix it for 2 days, but it's no use. Apparently, I'm not such a hot engineer when the chips are down. God, it's almost freeing to say that out loud, you know? To stop pretending for a second. Behind this tough facade I've worked so hard to create, you'll find one of the most insecure people in the world. But you already knew that, didn't you? I've never been able to fool you. You knew that this would end up happening, that I would screw it up sooner or later. But you stuck by me. Always trying to warn me. Despite that, I stuck to my crazy plan. Look where that's gotten me. I don't know where to run anymore. What was that? I have to activate the security systems. Damn it! I've lost power. I need to get the toolbox open. Shoot, what was the goddamn password? I jotted it down somewhere. I need to chill out. Now I just have to put them in the right place. This place gives me the creeps. I'm missing one of the wrenches. Where in the world did I put it? Okay. Calm down already, Grace. You got this. If you want to restore the systems, you just have to check the fuses. All right, now look at the control panel. Almost done. Now, I just have to set up the computer on the control panel. I think I managed to fix it. I need a few minutes to recharge the power on this. Oh, damn it. This thing's still recording. Joel. I'm just a big phony. I can't keep this up anymore. I should have listened to you. God, if only you were here. I hope you at least understand why I did all of this. Anyway, I gotta get this craft running again and fly out of here. Joel, are you out there?
Elena?
Dear God, Joel! I thought you were dead! I've been trying to make contact with you ever since you left.
I know, but the signal went out just 2 days after leaving the Citadel. I don't know why it's working now that I'm even further away.
Well, the important thing is that you're alive. How are you feeling? Have you found Grace?
No, I haven't found her yet. But I have a feeling that I'm getting closer. How are you doing? And how's our son?
How do you expect me to be? I'm pregnant and alone while my husband roams through the desert.
I'm sorry, Elena. I truly am. But you know I had to go.
You can't imagine how hard this has been. A part of me had to come to terms with the idea that you'd been hurt. But I never stopped trying anyway. I've been calling you every day at the same time, just in case you answered. I can't go on like this.
What do you mean?
I can't deal with this situation anymore.
Elena, I'm fine. I think I'm on the verge of finding Grace. If I'm not able to, I'll return before you even notice. I promise you, I won't leave you two alone again.
This isn't just about the trip anymore, Joel. You know that these issues are nothing new. We haven't acted like a married couple for a long time. I thought just maybe things might improve with our boy on the way. But I'm giving up on that too.
Elena, I know you must feel confused, but this is not...
Please, let me finish. During all this time by myself, I've realized who I really am, what I need. And it turns out that that's exactly what was missing. Being by myself. None of this means I don't love you or that I'm not worried about you right now. You know I can't wait for you to return, hopefully in one piece. I can't keep hiding all of this from you, though. Not knowing if we'll get to speak again.
I don't know why we can't discuss this calmly once I get home. We're gonna be fine, Elena. I know that all of this trip business has been very rough on you, but when I get back, I promise you, things will go back to normal.
No, we are not fine. In fact, you're not doing fine at all. Don't you think I can't tell? It's like you're not even here. Your mind has drifted off to a different place, waiting for something that doesn't exist. None of this means I plan on keeping you away from your son or throwing you out of my life. But we must face reality. Just think about it, okay? And we'll talk again once you get back.
Okay. Because I don't know what to say right now. I need to know whether you'll be waiting for me, though.
Take good care of yourself out there, Joel.
I will. I've been trying to avoid the question this whole time. Why did I do this? What led me to set off on this madman's journey? Finding Grace, obviously. There's a part of me that won't quite believe that. It feels like there's something more to it. That I needed to escape, to start over. But at what cost? Grace probably isn't even out here. It would be better for me to try and accept it. I'm going to end up alone. Although, who knows? That may be what I've been needing for a long time.
Another sleepless night, another bottle of wine. Talking to myself again, as if I didn't seem crazy enough already. Oh man. It's funny how lost you can start to feel. So much that even after fulfilling your biggest dreams, you still feel like you're empty inside. I guess what helps us keep moving forward is the pursuit of some unachievable goal. Gives us a reason to live. But when you reach it, it somehow becomes worthless. And you need something else. Maybe it's not what you truly wanted after all. I feel silly. I don't know how I could have made it this far. God, he doesn't deserve this. Paying for my mistakes. I never should have sent it. What a stupid decision. The hell was I thinking? On the other hand, however, I don't think he's that daring. I mean, he's never been a risk taker, right? Who's out there?
It's me, Joel!
Joel? I can't believe it! You came!
You're alive!
Of course I'm alive. I'm tougher than you thought.
What happened, Grace? You vanished without a trace from one day to the next. And suddenly your hovercraft shows up at the Citadel with no one on board? Damn it, we thought something had happened to you.
Well, I'm fine, can't you see? You could cheer up about it.
I'm totally cheery. But where are you? Why don't you come here so we can talk face to face?
I'm out looking for some minerals I need. The alarm went off in my communication device saying someone had entered the camp. That's why I called.
This place just looks amazing. How long have you been here?
It's hard to say. Time seems to pass at a different pace here.
And in all that time, I guess you never got a chance to make contact with the Citadel. You know, to say you were okay and all that?
Joel, things aren't as simple as they seem. Finding a good signal out here is sheer madness.
Of course. I'm sure it's far easier to design an alarm system than an antenna.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know, Grace. I don't know. You're doing fine, but didn't bother to inform anyone. Suddenly, the hovercraft appears at the Citadel. There's something fishy going on here.
Hang on, Joel. I'm on my way over. We'll talk about this in a minute, okay?
No, tell me what's going on, or I'm taking off.
Joel, calm down, okay?
Don't tell me you sent the hovercraft on purpose just to lure me out here.
I didn't force you to come. You know me. You know I can manage on my own. I didn't need you to rescue me. If you really thought I was dead, would you have risked your life to look for me? Why are you actually here?
I just knew it. How could I be so stupid?
Hey, you know you needed this more than I did. No matter what you say, you weren't happy back at the Citadel. You needed a change.
So this is the best solution you could come up with? Lying to me to drag me out here, is it?
If I had asked, would you have come?
At least you could have tried.
You wouldn't have listened. Or have you forgotten what you told me the last time we spoke? Saying I should give up on all this, that I was just being childish, that I should grow up and settle down. Well, look at everything I've accomplished.
Is that what this is about? Trying to show me I was wrong? Fine, you win.
This whole experience, the trip, I've had a lot of time to think about what I want and who I want to share it with. Ever since my parents passed away, you were the only person who stuck by my side. You've been like a brother, my best friend. Look, at first I didn't want to admit it. But losing our relationship was one of the reasons I ran away from the Citadel. I needed to fight back somehow, even if it seemed like sheer madness, to recover what we had back in the day. I feel like you're searching for the same thing, in a certain way.
I don't know.
Tell me I'm wrong.
That's not the point. You tricked me. I don't know if I can ever forgive you. My life has changed. I can't run all these risks anymore. I have sacrificed a lot to come out here. My marriage is falling apart. And for what? For another one of your little games? I thought you were truly in danger.
Don't you dare blame me for what's happening between you two. Your relationship wasn't going well, regardless of all this. And I've also had to put up with a lot of stuff. You were the only person I could rely on, Joel, and you abandoned me. You gave me the shaft to dive into a love story which you thought would make you so happy. But no matter how hard you try to convince yourself, you know it doesn't work like that.
And that gives you the right to manipulate me?
No! But it does give me the right to try and help you. How many times did you say you needed a change in your life? That you felt like something was missing? I've been there by your side for years supporting you so that would happen. And all you did was pull further and further away from me. There's nothing else I can do. This is the last trick up my sleeve. If you don't want to stay here, you're free to go back. No one's stopping you.
It's not that simple. You may be right about me needing to do this, but I am sick of you making all of my decisions for me, of you believing you can pull my strings like a puppet. I am my own person, Grace. This has nothing to do with my feelings towards you or towards Elena. It only has to do with me. Which is why I've decided to go back home and be with my son. Because I want to spend my time with him.
Well then. Is that all? Apparently you've got it all decided.
Yes, I do.
Wait for me, at least, so that I can say goodbye.
I think that would make things more difficult. Someday I hope we can finish this conversation in a different way.
I get it.
Take care of yourself out there.
Okay. You too, Joel. Tell me I'm wrong.
I also realized something during this trip. It became clear that I'm always living in someone else's shadow. That I've been out of touch with myself for years now. I have ignored who I am. You may be right about me needing all this, but I'm sick of you making all of my decisions for me, of you thinking you're entitled to toy with me like I'm just your little puppet. You've been doing this our entire lives, Grace. I am my own person.
I know.
This has nothing to do with my feelings towards you or towards Elena. It only has to do with me, which is why I've decided to go back home and be with my son. Because I want to spend my time with him. I know being here means a lot to you. And that you've made a huge effort. Now is not exactly an easy time for you to go back home. I get that. But if you want to stay near me, you can't keep isolating yourself from the rest of the world.
You may be right. But I need to stay here. Even if it means losing you.
Is that all?
Maybe. I'm really sorry for putting you in danger. None of this was some evil plan that I cooked up, believe me. I made some rash decisions in a moment of weakness. But I should also stick to my own path. I finally managed to build my own home. A place where I belong. I can't sacrifice that so easily. Knowing that I'm still someone important to you, well, I guess that's enough for the time being. And believe me, I haven't ruled out going home. Someday.
In other words, I should just go? Despite everything? You're not even going to come here and say goodbye.
I think that would only make matters worse.
I get it. Anyway, back to your smashed up ship.
Right now it belongs to you more than it does to me. Joel, the pilot of the sands. Who would have thought? I'm so proud of you, you know. Be careful out there.
Okay. You too, Grace.
space when you left me. Couldn't even breathe, but I can't give up. I can't give up. My heart was knocking at your door. Loneliness took me to the floor. And what is love? What is home? We will never feel each other the same. We will never hold each other in pain. We will never feel each other the same. We will never hold each other